We're on a quest this month to help you be more confident. Not only confident in who you are, but confident in what you are and what you can do.
It is often far too easy to identify our own weaknesses, but what about our own strengths? Therapist Julie Hanks, owner and director of Wasatch Family Therapy, is here to help us all really accept our strengths and, as a result, improve our confidence. And this is something people really struggle with, accepting their positive strengths.
They do, and it's kind of amazing that we're so afraid to acknowledge good things about ourselves. It's a common thing that I see in my practice, especially with women.
Why do you think? What are some things that hold us back from recognizing how great we really are?
I think we're afraid of what other people will think of us is one big barrier. We don't want people to think we're conceited or cocky or prideful. Another thing is I think we think of ourselves often in terms of either or, like I'm either talented or not talented, and if I'm talented then I'm conceited, so I'm going to opt for not talented, you know? So we kind of think in terms of am I a good person or a bad person, and sometimes we choose, oh, I'm not good enough.
But people do that all the time. I mean, someone says, gives you a compliment, and you say, oh, really? We have this producer on our show, Linda. She's this wonderful, marvelous person, and sometimes you'll say, oh, Linda, your hair looks great today. And she's like, oh, well, no, I just threw it together, and we have to try to tell her, really, accept the compliment.
And I can see right now Linda's going, oh, she's a sweetheart.
We're socialized to kind of downplay positive things, and I'm not sure why that's kind of been passed down, but I don't think it helps our confidence to kind of, discount. But then if somebody says a negative thing, we hold on to that for decades, right? I mean, I can remember a mean thing that somebody told me in 10th grade, and it's still in my brain. How crazy is that?
Scarring,
I know.
But when it comes to someone giving compliments to you then, Julie, what would be an appropriate way to accept them without appearing, as we fear to be, cocky, prideful, conceited? What would be an appropriate response to someone who says, hey, your hair looks nice today?
Thank you.
Just a simple thanks.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Wow, that was easy.
Thank you. That is really, thanks for noticing.
So don't deflect it, just embrace it.
Just accept it. We would feel so much more confident if we accepted the positive that people are trying to give to us.
And I think it's more than just saying thank you. Don't you think there's something to absorbing it as well, mentally and emotionally?
Well, and accepting it internally, not going, inside going, yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. My hair looks horrible, blah, blah, blah. That inner chatter that we have that's usually negative. To kind of be aware of that and shift it to go, oh, yeah, my hair does look nice, or I am really patient with my kids, or yeah, I am an open person, or whatever those compliments may be. Consider the fact that those people are right. We totally take the negative stuff and believe, oh, that's right, there must be a horrible this or that, or unattractive, or whatever it is.
Part of the problem, I think, is you're talking just now, you keep using the word confident and having confidence, and I think oftentimes we interpret that as being prideful and being proud of something. There's a difference between those two. What is that?
Yeah, the difference between confidence and pride. Pride is when you are putting yourself above someone else. So because I have this strength, that makes me better than.
Like a comparison thing.
It's like a one-up, yeah. Confidence is recognizing that you're equal, your value is equal to others, and you have different strengths. So accepting a good thing about you does not make you prideful, as long as you don't go, and so therefore I'm better than everybody else around me. Do you see the difference?
It's putting yourself on that equal ground.
Right, seeing that we're kind of all on the same playing field, and because we have a strength or a weakness doesn't make us better than or less than everybody else. We all have things that we're good at, things we struggle with.
Your next tip, Julie, for embracing and accepting your strengths is to recognize your unconditional worth. And I love that at first glance, but it's often harder to internalize and to do on a day-by-day basis.
It is. It is. I think it's helpful to consider where do I feel a sense of worth? Where am I getting that from? And often with our kids, we focus so much on what they can do and not so much on just who they are and that they exist. I love my kids because they're mine, because they're here, and they're not because they got a 4.0, which they didn't get, it doesn't decrease my, yeah, and so I think sometimes we put value on what people, or what we do, instead of that we exist, and human beings are valuable because we are interesting, and everybody has wonderful things and difficult things about them. We exist.
And that's where a societal mistake, I think, not just with kids, but with adults as well. We note titles or accomplishments.
Appearance. Yeah, and those are nice things, but those are superficial ways to get confidence.
Absolutely.
You see, a lot of it comes down to just a word, using the word "and" instead of the word "or," right?
Yes, yes. So Darren, what is something that a negative thing about yourself? What do you...
A negative thing about...
Darren's perfect.
What's something you struggle with?
I feel like I'm getting old and I can't keep up with what I used to 20 years ago. Is that an okay thing?
Yeah. So sometimes we take those negative things and we negate. Like, okay, so that means I'm a bad dad.
Yeah.
So, but if you use the word "and," you're like, yeah, I can't keep up with my kids, and you know what? I'm really trying to do this, or and I'm able to sit and read with them longer and talk with them because I'm not so uptight. Or so you kind of can see that balance, and using the word "and" instead of or "but" can help us accept that, you know, we have positive things and we have limitations.
I love that. That simple word can make a big difference.
They're not mutually exclusive. You can actually have multiple things going on in your life.
Exactly, and we tend to choose either or.
Out of time, Julie, but quickly challenging your inner critic. You say to turn inward and kind of argue the person inside of your head that's saying you're not good enough.
Yes, we all have that, and they're messages from people that we've loved or we care about. Somehow the negative gets in there. Challenge it and ask, what would if I said this to someone else, how would they feel? Because we are emotionally abusing ourselves inside of our head on a consistent basis, and that doesn't help us accept ourselves.
That's a great point. Often things you say in your head you would never say to other people.
And if you did, you wouldn't have friends.
That's a whole segment in and of itself. No. Yeah. Julie, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Great tips. For more tips, visit the website. Julie's article there. It's a great resource for learning to accept your strengths and really be more confident in the process.
In the meantime,